let's talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. The lies, the murder, the fans who treat her like a misunderstood princess in some crime fairy tale of her own doing. It seems like she's trying to dodge accountability while simultaneously building a cult of personality. And the tactics she's using, they're straight out of the Darvo and manipulation by proxy handbook. So let's break it all down. Darvo stands for deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender, and Gypsy's mastered it. She always denies what actually happened, that she manipulated an autistic man into murder. That's not just a mistake made by a scared girl. And she attacks anyone who dares to bring up her current toxic behavior. She calls us haters, bullies, or says that we're obsessed. And she flips the script. Suddenly, she's the one being hurt, and she's the victim, the perpetual victim, again and again, and people eat it up. So what is manipulation by proxy? This is when someone gets others to do their dirty work for them without ever getting their own hands dirty. Back then, she was using Nicholas Godejohn. Now, she uses her fans, her supporters, like Bree, like Renee. She'll post something vague and sad, like, it's just so hard when people won't let me feel, and boom, her followers start attacking creators, mass reporting accounts, harassing people who dare to speak against Gypsy Rose Blanchard and have a different opposing opinion about her. She doesn't ask for it because she doesn't have to. She's created this cult-like following online to where people just want to stand up for her and help her because they see her as this tortured soul who needs saving all the time. And that's what makes this so insidious. But Gypsy loves it. So let's talk about why she enjoys this so much. Because it reinforces her power. This fake power that she believes that she has. She sees people going to war for her and it makes her feel important. It makes her feel validated, worshipped. She gets to play the victim and the puppet master, and her fans are quick to attack any critic, and she gets to keep her hands squeaky clean. Exactly like she did before with Nicholas, assuming he was going to take the entire rap for the crime that she orchestrated for years. It's power without accountability, and Gypsy Rose Blanchard loves it. But let's not forget where she learned this. Growing up, manipulation and guilt were her survival skills. And now, they're tools she uses to control the narrative. She was using these skills on her own mother throughout her entire childhood. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has mastered the art of emotional manipulation and blackmail. And the worst part is watching people she doesn't like get bullied on her behalf. It gives her an emotional payoff without the backlash. That's why she never speaks out. That silence, it's not ignorance, it's approval. And this bullying video that she made, she literally did not even talk about anything. It was a word salad dissertation meant to sound good without any actual backbone, any substance to it. Nothing but confusion of words for 30 minutes. No actual tips to help stop cyberbullying, no resources, and lumping everyone who is critical of her behavior as a bully, and that's just simply not true. People who are critical of your behavior are not bullies. They are simply trying to hold her accountable for her current actions. See, Gypsy has this fake idea that people do not like her because of her past, and that could not be further from the truth. People do not like her because of her current behavior. It may have started with her manipulating a man into committing a very heinous crime of murder on her own mother, but we have all simultaneously watched her behavior while she was in prison and her behavior since getting out of prison, and nothing has changed. There has been absolutely no growth. She uses a lot of words that sound good, that sound like she has grown, but her actions continue to show that she is not a changed person. She is probably a better criminal now than she was in the past. Because criminals don't just stop being criminals the day they leave prison. But another thing I want to talk about is her cult-like following. And I use the word cult because that's exactly what she's doing. And if you look up what a cult leader is, let's go over some of the checklists to see how Gypsy stacks up to being a cult leader. Number one, they are a charismatic figure who demands loyalty. They create an us versus them mentality. Silences dissent through intimidation or guilt. Uses emotional manipulation to maintain control. Builds a victim-centered identity and sends proxies to attack critics. She checks every one of those boxes. This girl is not selling Kool-Aid. She's selling her trauma, and people are drinking it up. I know I don't like when people weaponize my past, but the difference between us bringing up Gypsy's past and, like, I'll just use me for an example, bringing up my past, the difference is I've changed. I've shown that I've matured, that I've grown, and that I no longer participate in those type of activities anymore or behaviors. I don't just say that I've grown, I've actually shown that I've grown. Gypsy wants everyone to stop talking about her past, but her current behavior proves that she's not evolved. She talks about healing, but is currently living manipulation. She wants praise for change without actually changing. Because healing doesn't include fan-led witch hunts. Growth isn't silencing your critics with a mob in your comment section. Gypsy Rose is not trying to escape her past. She's trying to rewrite it while repeating the same toxic behaviors. She's using Darvo, she's using manipulation by proxy, and yes, she's leading her own little cult of personality online. Her fans think they're defending a survivor. But what they're really defending is control, manipulation, and a weaponized sob story. That is not true. But let me know in the comments, do you think we're actually witnessing a redemption arc or a rebrand? Either way, I'm here to document it because someone has to, even though she'd rather us ignore all of her behavior and just pretend like it isn't happening, because she wants no one holding her accountable. She wants to be able to do everything that she wants and get away with it. And creators like me are actually saying, watch her patterns of behavior. Don't just listen to what she says. Watch how she acts. Because words are just words. Anyone can say anything. They don't mean shit. True change is shown in your actions, in your behaviors. And her continued actions show that she's not a changed person. She's exactly the same as she was when she went into prison. Worse even. What did you think about my cult checklist? It's crazy to see that she actually checks all of the boxes. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, and if you like content like this, don't forget to like, comment, save, and share the video.